So this morning I turned in a mix of a song that I produced for my friend and a local client named Chad Rogers. This is a country song and it's called Railroad Town. Chad wrote it and I produced it and got a few of our friends to play some of the different instruments on this song. In particular, the guitar solo was played by my good friend Matt Shell, who is just a fantastic guitarist. And what I wanted to do today was look at the mix and show you what I did to mix the guitar solo on this country song. So let's pop up Pro Tools and check out this mix. All right, so let's dive in and look at this guitar solo. First, I'm just going to play it for you with no plugins on there. And here's the solo that we tracked. All right, we got the banjo ringing out there. I'm going to show you some of this in solo. We'll just start right here because this is my favorite spot in the solo. All right, and so Matt is playing my G&L ASAT. I think it's an ASAT Classic. It's a US-made one that has Brad Paisley pickups in it, actually. And we were running into a Fender Deluxe reverb, and I think we had just a analog delay pedal on there, maybe a Memory Man or something. Nothing fancy. Just that's the sound that we got, though. Just delay, deluxe reverb, and probably a tube screamer or some kind of overdrive pedal. I don't really remember. And it would have been just 57 on the cab. So first thing that I'm going to do, any guitar solo, is I'm going to EQ it a little bit, and so I'm filtering out 170 hertz, and then I really hate 300 to 350-ish, and so I'm kind of finding a frequency there to kind of duck out a little bit, and it's kind of sort of wide, and then I'm also finding a whistle tone somewhere around 3200 that I'm also cutting out. So let's go ahead and let's just listen to the solo again, and I'll turn this on and off so we can hear it. So let me show you that 320 kind of has some honk to it. And then the whistle tone. So just cleaning it up, just a little tiny bit of corrective EQ, and we don't need that to be on 30 dB. There we go, we'll do that. That's probably a little more than necessary. So just subtle. And then I'm using VMR, and I've already got all this stuff bypassed for us, and so the main thing that I'm using VMR for is I'm adding a little bit around 1K, 994, whatever. Using, of course, the virtual channel. If I'm using VMR, I just go ahead and stick it on because I'm kind of like, why not? Adds a little bit of saturation, adding a little bit of drive there, and then of course the 1K boost, and I didn't widen the bandwidth any at all. And then we've got a 4K shelf, which just adding a little bit of sparkle to the top of the guitar. So here's what, and then of course I'm using Revival here to add a little bit of harmonic saturation with the shimmer band. The 1K is what's really critical here, because that those mid-range frequencies really add some meat to the guitar. It's right around the range that he's playing, and so you can hear when the SSL comes on. It does get a little bit louder, of course, but it also is really making it sound a lot nicer. And so that's what we're doing there. So just simple, small moves just to kind of accentuate and make the guitar just more of what we need, which is some meat on that guitar solo. And then I'm using my favorite plugin for making a guitar solo sit where you want. This is Waves MV2. And so you just have two different types of compressors here. You've got one that reacts on the low the low volume material, and then you've got one that is kind of reacting on the high volume material. This is super easy to use. You just push the low level up, you pull the high level down, and then you set your output and you're ready to go. And so the main thing that this is doing is kind of just keeping it more consistent throughout the solo. I don't want the notes where he's holding out and sustaining, I don't want those to get lost in the mix. And then the notes where he's really punching through and picking hard, I don't want those to stick out too much in an obnoxious way. And so MV2 is really great for that. Here's what it sounds like. So this is a great section right here to listen to for this, because he's got the bam, bam, arrow, and those are hard picks. And so without it, let's listen to it in the mix. Without it, those are going to stick out a lot. Let's get a little more context. And so what you're going to get is you'll get this hard pick here, and the sustain will stay up in the mix a little bit more, and then these two picks won't stick out quite as much because of the compression. So let's check it out. Actually boost that just a smidge, because I think it could be just a little louder. Yeah, that sounds nice. And then we used a delay when we tracked this, but I can't help myself. I just love slapping Echoboy on everything, and I love, for guitar solos, this analog quarters and eighths preset. And so here's what that sounds like. I just like that because it really widens the solo out. I try to keep the mix pretty low and the feedback high. I want it to last for a long time. Those little trails and stuff like that, because it just makes it sound so much fun. So here is what the solo sounds like before and after in the mix. Oh, and there's that banjo. Yeah, I put some Echoboy on the banjo too. Maybe I'll have to show you that one later. It's really fun. This is how I mix guitar solos. I do these same moves a lot of times for a country song. Of course, you can get wackier, you can get crazier, do other things, but for just a standard, just straight ahead rock guitar solo in a country song, these are moves that I do every time, and they work really, really well, and can make the guitar solo just sit exactly where you want it to. So if you got questions, leave them below. Love to answer them about how you're mixing guitar solos. And like, subscribe, all that stuff, and hit that bell so you know the next time we've got a video coming out. I've been Matt for Capsule to Cone. Thanks for watching. See you next time.